On today's show, I'm going to make a Mexican lasagna. Valentine's Day is coming up and it's a special occasion. Of course, I'm also going to make some dessert with some strawberries and some yogurt. I'll show you that in just a little bit. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Let's start out by cooking our ground beef. I have some oil here. I'll put a little bit in the pan and get the fire going. This probably takes the longest out of everything in the meal. And get a wooden spoon, start to break this up. Let's throw a splash guard on this while that's cooking. And we have a few things we have to cut up. We're going to use our onion slicer today. So I need just to get this started. So I'll cut off the root. Cut off the top. Cut in half. And then I can get the jacket off the outside. Today I'm going to be using both my fine and my coarse cutter. So I'll coarse cut it first and then I'll switch. Lock that in. There we go. There you go. Now we'll just get a flipper here. I turn her over. Break this up a little bit first before I turn it over. Okay, this meat is done enough, so I'm going to turn that off for now. Have my casserole dish. I'm going to spray, and while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to put some of my tomato paste in the bottom of my dish. I used about 3/4 of it. And then I'm going to put my taco mix in with it and stir it. Get my taco mix all mixed in. So let's just take a spoon here. I like to have the marinara or tomato sauce on the bottom. So when you cook it, the meat is sitting on the liquid rather than the liquid on top. Okay, there we go. Now we can get this meat out of here. I'm going to try not to take any grease with it. It's nice, I still have some grease in the bottom of the pan, which we'll use for our onions. So here is our onions. I think I'll just use a couple of handfuls of this. Okay, let's get going here on bell pepper. I'm going to use a half of a bell pepper today. So, just going to V-cut so I get more of the top of this. Just like that. And then I can start to cut this up. When I make a Mexican dish, I like to have longer pieces, more of a matchstick concept of the bell pepper, then little pieces. I'm going to cut the bottoms off so I don't have so much of a hook on them. Leave them a little thick. I'm going to cook them up. You can use as much of this as you like to use. I like a lot of garlic. I'll get this in my ground beef. Now I need to roast up my garlic. So I'm going to grab a mat. So it's being tough. There it goes. I got it though. And I have a garlic cutter. You can use a press, cutter, whatever you like to use. Just like that. More oil. Okay, the garlic looks like it's done. So now I'm going to take my mix and I'm going to put it back in the frying pan, leaving some of the sauce on the bottom. You could use a mixing bowl if you want to store that while you do it, but we need to gather up the garlic in it. And we need to take our tortillas. And we just need to take a tortilla and just put it in the bottom of the dish. Then we're going to put some meat on the tortilla, just like this. And then we need some cheese. Now I think most people would probably use the Mexican 3 cheese, but we've decided for our recipe today, we are going to use the pepper jack. So this should be interesting. I always like to smell the cheese. So here we go. I'm going to put some cheese on top so that it looks like that. And then we'll take and put another tortilla on top and some more meat. This. More cheese. And another tortilla. More cheese. Just like that. And the tomato sauce. Just like that. And then just to be sure that we have everything the way we like it, let's just throw some more salt and pepper on this. That pepper will spice it up a little bit without really being hot. You could put red pepper flakes on here if you want. This is a garlic salt. Now I need to throw it in the oven and just brown things up for a few minutes. Next, let's make our dessert. So I have some yogurt, and we'll just grab a spoonful of yogurt, put some on the bottom of each one, just like this. Then I have the mixed strawberries and berries. This particular one, I bought a big bag and it had all these little bags in it. I thought that's kind of nice because then you can use as much as you want. You don't have to open up the whole great big huge bag and use all of it at one time. Now I have some maple syrup. Put some maple syrup on this. Use honey if you want. And we just need some more yogurt on top. Of course, I would put these in the refrigerator at least. Throw some saran wrap over the top of them. If you want, you can put them in the freezer. Take them out when you're going to eat. Dessert is an art. Well, there we go. That's the dessert. Let's put these aside and get the meal out. It is hot, and I need to let it sit for a couple of minutes before I serve it up. It really looks delicious, and of course you want to let it cool for just a little bit before you cut it and serve it up. Probably cut it at least in 4s. And then for our dessert, we need to finish our dessert here once you pull this out before it goes to the table. So I have some whipped cream here. And then, of course, you have to have a cherry on top. Here is a cherry. And you know what? You should have a lot of cherries. You shouldn't just have one cherry on top. That's Barb laughing in the background. She sees the dessert and she's getting excited. She's like, can we just eat the dessert first? How about that? There you go, folks. That's our Valentine's Day dinner, or you could make this just because it's Tuesday. Thanks for watching. And by the way, here's 2 more meals just like it.